I think human beings should be very careful about trying to go too luxurious, right? Okay. So like if you're trying to put yourself into a more serious place or a higher visual quality, you know, look, you're talking to a dude who did 1,000 episodes of a wine show where it literally looked like I was a hostage in Afghanistan. Like, there was no lighting. I didn't use a mic. Like, there was zero editing. Like, and so I'm always gonna believe that the content, you know, even with D-Rock now, if for the people in here that follow me, they always hear me making jokes about the lighting and things of that nature. I never wanna tell people what they should or shouldn't do. I will say this, I think it is dangerous, and I've watched very carefully on this for the last 10 years, of people trying to propel themselves to a higher quality and status because they become less authentic to the end user, and I think they're leaving a lot of opportunity on the table, and they're spending a lot of time and infrastructure on shit that doesn't matter. Facebook Live will let you do the quality you want if you put it in a studio, set it on a tripod, set it up. I mean, there's plenty of like ability for you to make it fancier than just walking around, but you're leaving a lot of content serendipity and just compatible and like acceptance instead of putting you on a pedestal. A lot of people want to monetize that pedestal. That pedestal is a lot more dangerous than I think people realize.
So you think it's better to monetize the like one-on-one feel of the video rather than...
Look, I think everybody should roll the way they want to roll, right? Like you're dressed sharp as fuck. Like I'm only...
Thank you.
I'm only
French.
Yeah.
They have to.
I get it, but like only funerals is how, like that's a funeral getup for me. That's about it. But it works for you, and so you need to be you. But I would be very careful to disrespect the platform over yourself. Unless you're fucking Jaguar or Tiffany's, like, it's awesome that you are who you are, but I think Facebook is more important than you in that equation, and I think you need to adjust to it more than they need to adjust to you.
So I actually resented you and didn't want to listen to you because you were so all about the hustle, and I was actually trying to get out of the hustling and try to find the answer and info.
Right, the answer, you know, passive income, smoking weed in Jamaica while shit just comes in.
Yeah. Exactly. So,
is that not how it works?
Yeah. Just go on Instagram, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Well, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, anyway, so now I'm actually really loving you and enjoying you, and I like your raw take on human nature. And so your raw take on human nature makes me actually drop all my assumptions and all my paradoxes of reality and just listen to you. And so I'm really curious, with my business being all about breakups and heartbreaks and humans, I'm curious, I'm not really, I don't need a tactical question on like how to integrate with Snapchat. Yep. I don't really give a shit.
Yep.
I just mean, what's your take on something so fundamentally human and emotionally rich and compelling?
Let's do what I normally do in scenarios like this. This is how I think about business and why I consult and why I invest. So it's a really interesting, so first of all, top line, if you're talking about breakups and relationships and things of that nature, you're at the tippy top of emotion, which is immediately interesting business, right? Like there's a lot to be done. I guess my next question would be, instead of doing something you don't give a shit about, which would be a tactic, leveling that up to a strategy, I have to understand what you're trying to do backwards. I think the biggest mistake for so many people in this room is you don't know what your finish line is. And if you don't know what your finish line is, you can't reverse engineer it to make what happens. I know that I want to buy the New York Jets. So 3 years ago, I sold 30% of VaynerMedia when it was doing 14 million in revenue, and I knew it would do 100 in 2 seconds because the person that wanted to buy it owned the Miami Dolphins, and I wanted to get into the ecosystem. So I left tens of millions of dollars on the table because I know what my finish line is, and I've mapped my behavior. And now I'm very friendly with 11 owners. If I ever amass the wealth, I'll easily get voted in. And so that's how I'm thinking. So me as a proxy there, I don't know if you want to buy the New York Jets or things of that nature, but trying to, on a more granular level, how do you want to, at least short term, how do you want to monetize? What are you trying to sell? Your coaching advice, a product, a service, what are you doing?
Yeah, a combination of products, services, and soon to be supplements.
So I think the thing that you need to really think about is building awareness. And I think awareness comes through content. I just think people grossly underestimate content. And you know, it's super ironic. because it's funny that was your, like, I do think Snapchat has a real opportunity. You know, let me give you an example. Mike, my personal trainer, 18 months ago, I decided to take care of my health. I hired a full-time health employee, travels with me the whole fucking nine, right? He does, you know, he's done really well. He should be fucking paying me. His business has gone 5x because he just hangs around Vayner. I'm actually quite bitter about it. So anyway, so he's been doing Facebook and YouTube and doing all this stuff and definitely like playing my blueprint. Since January 4th, Snapchat has sold more people to his platform of $400 a month online health coaching than anything he did in Facebook or Google for 2.5 years. Right? Like seriously. Like even that's surprising to me. We're talking about 7 weeks. It just has that much attention. And I guess health coaching is more of a human thing and it makes sense. I actually weirdly think it could be ironic and a continuation of our story that the thing that you said, I don't care about the tactics on Snapchat, I actually think if you're capable or somebody in your organization is capable to produce content in that environment, that there could be a really great gateway drug to that. I also think that if you marketed against people whose relationship status went from in a relationship to single and ran Facebook ads with the right creative against that demo on a daily basis, your fucking business would explode.
That's not a targeting feature yet, but I'm praying for it.
It's coming.
Cool.
And so that targeting feature is literally 40 seconds away.
Sweet.
Yeah, so just wait and fucking smoke weed in Jamaica until it comes out.
Thank you.
If you're trying to make the transition from just quant DR, to a brand play, you have to change your behavior. You know, I like to say if you want to be an anomaly, you have to act like one, which means you have to do different shit than everybody else, right? So, you know, if you want to be in the branding business, you have to do branding things. A la, you need to take the logo of your company and you need to email Tim Ferriss and say, can my company sponsor your podcast? And he's gonna say, cool, $8,000 an episode. And you're gonna say, fuck, right? Because you're gonna say, well, how do I quantify the math? You don't. It's kind of like for the people in here building, anybody here have a company that they run that has 50 or more employees? Right, so for the couple of us in this room, it's kind of the way I think about HR and the way I treat my people. Most of the things I do with my people are very bad business decisions. It's why, from a math standpoint, my CFO hates it, my brother hates it, and my COO hate it. But I like it because I know that if I disproportionately over-treat everybody well, that extra 2 months of severance that they didn't deserve still has brand impact. Got it? So if you want to get into the branding game, you have to stop counting the beans. You have to start investing in creative and stories and long-term and branding. And so you have to change your behavior. 2 years ago, I wanted to lose weight and get healthier. I changed my behavior. I stopped fucking eating muffins every morning. Do you know muffins have more calories than donuts? That shit is fucked up. I would say give away all your best advice for free.
Okay.
And so that is the anti-answer to all agencies. Okay. Like the craziest dirty little secret about me is I give away all my advice for free, shit that I'm using to build a $100 million billable, not pass-through agency, because 99% of fuckers don't do it.
Okay.
That's like the craziest dirty secret. There's people in here that think they want to hold on to their biggest gift or their thing they know, and the number one thing you can do is give it away for free as leverage, because the reality is most people won't do it. Everything I just talked about, many things people are like, oh, that's good, you're just not gonna do.
So you're saying give it away in order to...
I mean, sit in fucking the stream, right?
Right.
On Periscope and start giving away good advice. Like this week, one of our clients really crushed it because they did this Facebook ad against this targeting, or whatever the fuck you do.
Yeah, no, and I'm doing that, I guess, and that's building my platform.
Yes.
And building my agency.
How long have you been doing it?
For 7-8 months.
Not long enough.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. So, and what do you think the future
The other thing
is
you also, if you want it to be a gateway drug, you should be saving that stream, then posting on your Facebook page, and then targeting employees of companies that you want to hire you.
Okay.
But I think you also want to do it for clients, right?
Yeah, that's
No,
exactly.
but I gave him the right answer, which is take that content, then take it out of Periscope, download it, upload it as a Facebook dark post, and then post it and target it against employees of the 40 targets of businesses within a 10-mile radius or 100-mile radius or wherever in the world. There's much more B2B transactional opportunities on Facebook than people realize if they started targeting employees of the company, especially if you started things with like, does your CIO know? Yeah. And then you have the employees forward it to their CIO. And this is when lore and branding takes over reality, which is a whole nother thing with branding that can be good or bad, depending if you know how to control it. I took my business from $3 to $60 million, went 3 to 45 before Wine Library TV. So I did not use my personality. I didn't even say hello to the world until I was 30 years old. So what I did was everything that we've talked about for the last hour and a half. I marketed correctly today. You take this is a world I know well. Do you want to market in the US?
In the world, yes. The brand, yes.
But like, are we talking US market branding?
Yeah.
If you go to Instagram and search the hashtag wine and wine review and all that, and you deploy people reaching out to all the sommeliers that are now reviewing wine on Instagram, and you incentivize them by either giving it to them for free, or if they're a little more fancy, $50 or $100 for a review, and you tell them that if they don't like it, if I'm paying them, I'd say, if you don't like it, don't review it. You'd prefer they don't say it's a piece of shit, right? But if you were to do that at scale, back to that young gentleman over there also with Ground Signal, if you went out and hit, right now I know 1,000 sommeliers across America that are leaving a lot of reviews on Instagram. If you got your wine to them at scale, I think you could start a match that would give you an opportunity because a lot of press follow them. See, the other thing that people don't realize is when you do things right, the reason $3 to $50 million and the reason with VaynerMedia, when you do things right, there's momentum against that right. You did Instagram right, you got 1,000 people, some of the people that follow that sommelier are us normal people and they buy it and the wine's selling, but other people are the press. And then they're writing 6 good deal wines under $20 and they mention yours because they saw it 6 times on Instagram because you properly day traded attention. Got it?